Aileen Haeta Taku Ingoa. I've come up from Wairarapa, representing the region up there. There's so many issues that points of reference I'm sure all of us can speak on. So I'm gonna, one of the areas is what Sue and the others were saying, is how do we get the word out? How do we sell it to the wider members of society? How do we get it out? And so that's why I'm always interested in, when I heard that there's going to be a bit more organisation and development to take it to the next step. For me, I'm on the creative side because, like many of us, many of us have been human activists, human rights activists, many issues for many years. So we're all, just coming together and trying to find a way forward, because there is a mass awakening that's happening. And for the so going forward, for me, I'm just going to touch on the how to get it out. I've been working on a children's storybook for quite a few years, and life's been difficult, so it's just been sitting there. And then in the last year, I've been able to, just take on a little bit more with this area, which is, all encompassing. And so with a children's storybook, the whenua fairies, and for me, that's one thing I'd like to collaborate with others to create it in these characters. And I've met an illustrator, and that gets basically the story out of, in a very creative way, to the children and to the wider society. The story is, who the baddies are going to be, and the poisoning. And also on the road, like to develop the child's storybook, the illustrator is very important. Get that going, and then have characters. That is the educational side, the creative side, and to get the children and parents to just connect up. That's one way, and then to take it on the road, a tour. The government, the education system, there's no way they can say, sorry about it, you're all about 1080, because it's actually, the fairies are actually based, which I realised as my journey went, it's actually based in one of our legends. So there's no way they could ever say to me, you're not going to do it, or present it in schools, because they'd just be rather prejudiced if they did that. So so that's one way. And also on the creative side, I like a bit of humour. I've used humour a lot. I banter a lot, because if you don't, you can get very dark. And so I'd also, whether I do all of this all by myself, I'm going to have to, but I like collaboration and networking. A comedy show to take the piss out of maybe Doc, the things they say, but also take the piss out of ourselves as characters. Why not? And that's another way to just get it out there. Everything's so serious. We understand that. But one way I've come through life is having a good laugh, because I need it, and just making it a bit more real. So I'm all about, those are just a few areas, and with the templates that are happening all around in the areas, different areas, like in the education realm of a Kaitiaki bush school, I want one in Wairarapa, and I know there are templates happening, but I want a more to encompass tikanga and the legends, and then naming the native trees and the edible plants and what have you. So that would also be NZQA accredited, and that would also create employment, having more fur, and pluck the fur in the pelts industry, and that's going to create employment. So employment as well, how to get it out, how to sell it, instead of going, just a bit more tangible, a book, a creative outlet, just a bit more tangible to get out to everyone. Because I know we can all be pretty serious, but just to shift the mindsets a bit more. And instead, like, I don't know if you saw my unicorn band 1080 about, in the last month I realised my next t-shirts, I'm not going to be wearing 1080, although I'll probably have them available, but it's more kaitiaki and native species like wetters, and just with the offset of the kaitiaki bush school, the clubs in every area, instead of protests, we need bush tests, like little challenges out in the bush, because most people aren't even going in the bush. So it's a real shift that we have to work on.